Hello again from Ireland, Ket Fáilte. How's everybody doing? Again, I hope to see you at some stage in Ireland when this all is over with the crisis. And it's nice to hear that in some other European countries, restrictions are being lifted, that people are allowed to travel again. And so, first of all, two questions to you. Again, in which country are you? I asked this question last time around as well, but it's always nice to see from which country you're viewing this live session. And the other question I'd like to ask you is, when will your school reopen? Do you have a date already? And if yes, when will it reopen? Are you able to reopen before the summer break, or is it going to be afterwards? Here in Ireland, it's the current plan is for schools to reopen after the summer break. However, there are a couple of voices from, for example, parent associations that say, well, you should also consider opening up in mid-June, for example. And I also read that the envoy to the World Health Organization was also saying that Ireland should consider this as an option as well, rather than delaying everything until September. All right, so let me know when your school will reopen and also which country you're in at the moment. And all right, so just to mention, there's a bit of a time delay, so I will only see your comments in a moment or two and will be able to read them then. So meanwhile, I just continue here. So this Europass talk is again about free online tools for teaching. And as I said last time already, there are many different tools out there that you can use. Tools that make information more visual, tools that make information also audible, that allow you to record your own voice or add other sound recordings. There are tools that allow students to interact with the content and also allow students to contribute their own ideas, their own questions, their own answers. And the nice thing about Nearpod is, the program we are talking about today, is that it pretty much ticks all these boxes. So we're going to look at it now. But before that, just again to say, this is just what I'm doing here now, just part of an online course that we're currently offering. And this online course will have 4 or 5 sessions depending on, and there we'll talk about lots of these programs. Programs that are online platforms for education. We'll be talking about interactive presentations with other programs than Nearpod. We'll also talk about interactive videos, online quizzes, game-based learning, and programs for collaborating online. And the good news is registration is now open for this course and for many other courses provided by the Europass Teacher Academy, by our trainers. And so have a look at our new website. It's online.teacheracademy.eu, and there you will find all the courses and different online offers that we have. So after this Europass talk, check out the website and see which course you're interested in. Okay, now let's see. I'm just looking at your comments and I see, okay, we have people from Cyprus here, from Spain. In Spain, they're also opening in September, from Bulgaria. Hello, Maria from Bulgaria. And I see not everybody knows already when things will open. But yeah, let's hope that this will be clarified in the next couple of months or even weeks. Okay, so today I'm talking to you about Nearpod for creating interactive presentations. And I have here the bullet points, but we're actually now going to go straight into the program. This will make it a bit easier, and so for this I'm switching, and now here I'm on the Nearpod page and where I have my different lessons, and I'm just going to show you an example lesson, this one here, Europe and the European Union. And what we're going to do is I will display now a code, and what I would like you to do is to go to the Nearpod website and enter the code that I'm giving you now, and then you'll be seeing this presentation in the interactive mode. So in order to do that, you need to go to a different page and type in Nearpod, and then you come to this page if you're not logged in. And here you have the option to join a lesson by entering the code that I will give you in a moment. You should still have my audio in the background. I hope that will work. And again, there will be a bit of a time delay, but we will try this out anyway to see how it goes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my lesson, and I'm going to start now the live lesson mode. Okay, and now here you have this code LKFEN, and I would like you to do is to copy that code, go to the Nearpod website, and then enter the code there and say join. And if you do that, you will be brought to another page, and here you have to add your name and say join session, and only then will you be able to join the actual session. So try that out now. You can also do it on your smartphone, for example, so you can if you're watching me on a desktop computer, use your smartphone to log in, although there it's better to use the app, or you can also go to a different browser window and type in the code here. So again, this is the code, and I give you now a minute or so to actually join in. I'm going to do the same on my mobile phone to have this as an example. Okay. Okay, so I hope by now you have copied the code. I will now close this window, and now I'm in the presentation mode, and I see here, down here, I actually see who has already joined. So I click on this, and I can see 4 people have joined already, and I hope a few more will join us as well. I close this again, and yeah, I see now a few more joining. Again, there's a bit of a time delay, so it will always take a moment to work. But once everybody is in, I can start the presentation and continue from here. Okay. Oh, now what happened is I see this here turned red, and this means that at least one person had problem with the connection, but it seems okay now. This is always important because you never know how the devices of your students are, if they're able to join, and if this works out. So it's always good to give it a few minutes to get all your students joining. Okay, now I see, okay, we have one more person joining. We are 8 now. Again, there seems to be some trouble, but okay, so I hope you had now time to join. If you haven't joined already, here is the code. And again, go to the Nearpod website, Nearpod, and type in, one second, just to show that, type in the code here or anywhere on the website where you can enter the code, and then you will join the presentation. Okay, so let's start now. So what you see on your screen will be the student view, and I have here the teacher's view on my screen. And they will be, for most of the presentation, they will be the same, but at some stage when it comes to the interactive part, your screen will look different from mine. This is why I would like you to log in. But even if you can't log in, that's okay, because I also have the option here to switch to student view. Okay, so let's start now. This is just an example presentation about Europe and the European Union. And I'm going to the next slide. And here now I have already an activity. And I'm just here, the first question it gives me as teacher, if I would have to approve all the students' comments. I say no, I want them to be posted straight away. And now I'm asking you to interact with the content and to essentially type in here the name of your favorite European city. Thanks. We already see here now one option, Berlin by Bart DVD, and Florence from Maria. Great. So I have here my presentation and I can interact with that. So that's great. I can see everybody posting. Great choice, Amy. Dublin. It's a wonderful city. I hope you will be able to visit. And a few more. Great. Paris, Oslo, Madrid. So yeah, I hope that soon we will be able to travel and to see all these beautiful places in Europe. So this is the example of the collaborative board, where you can get your students to contribute and to share their opinion. This is a great starter. For example, when you start a new topic, you could ask them, what do you know about this? What do you know about Europe? And then let them type in the answers and collaborate, and you and they will see everything. Okay, great. Let's continue. We go to the next slide. So here we have some information about Europe. And just again to mention, I'm not going into the content because this is just an example. I'm more talking about how it works. So see, as I as teacher, I have these arrows here at the side. And it's essentially me who's deciding when we go to the next slide. And so I can control how long we stay on there, so I can explain more as I want to, and continue. Here at the bottom you see the total number of slides, so I could also switch to another one. And now here we have another activity for you, and what I will do is I will switch to student view so that you can see how it looks like from the student point of view. If you're logged in, please answer this question. So just tick one of these. The question is, how big is the population of the European Union? And so you have 4 possibilities. So click on the one that you think is correct. Let's say A, and then you press the submit button. I can't submit because I'm the teacher. And so please do that now. What I do is I will switch back to teacher's view. And see, and I'm actually gonna give an answer here on my phone. And here I see some people have already given some answers. Very good. So here if you're in student view, go back to the Facebook Live page so that you can actually see what I see in teacher's view. Here now you see how how the participants have answered the quiz, and I see that not everybody has been able to answer just yet. And again, it looks like there's some issues here because some of them are in red. But you see here, you as a teacher, you have the overview. You can see who has answered. You can see what answer they gave, A, B, C, or D. I can also, if the students actually see that, I can also hide the student's name. So if I click down here, I can hide all this, just in case I don't want the participants to see that. But now let's go back, and here now I can see the answer. I can see a few more people have answered. Now I'm just clicking on here to see if everything is alright with everybody who is joined. And I see, okay, Ardita and Fabrice have problems with the connection. So yeah, this is always, that can happen, of course, when you're teaching remotely, and that there's some technical issues. So it's always good to be aware of this. I'm going to go back now to the page, and so Fabrice, once you enter the code, you need to add your name or a nickname as well, and then click the button Join Session. I hope that will work for you. But the thing is, otherwise, just follow it here on the Facebook Live session, and you'll be able to see it here as well. Okay, and this is again the code for anybody who would like to join in and to try it out. Okay, so now it looks like everybody has been able to answer except for Fabrice, who will hopefully be able to do so in a moment. Now, what I can also do is, so this is the teacher's view, and I might hide this from the students so that they don't see that. And what I can do is, I can now, if I want to share the results with the students, I can now press this button here, Share. And once I do that, nothing will happen on my screen as teacher, but for the student view, you will see now the results. You will see what the answer, the correct answer has been. And if you scroll down, you will also be able to see what your answer was. So this makes sense if you have several different questions. Okay, great. Looks like it works now for Fabrice. And so I click on Unshare again, and now Fabrice could also try to enter his answer. Okay, so yeah, so this is how Nearpod works. You can go through, you can have your regular slides, and you can have interactive slides. And once you're finished with your presentation, you click up here on this little arrow on the Nearpod, and here you have two options. You can get the report, so where you get the results from what the students have submitted, and you can also end the session. So once you're done with your Nearpod session, you end it, and I will end it now because I would like to show you now how it actually works, how you can create your own interactive presentation. And for this, we need to go out of the actual presentation mode. Okay, so I'm saying now, it's asking me, am I sure do I want to end the session? And I'm saying yes, because you can still follow me on Facebook. So I'm ending this now. And so this was the live example of how Nearpod works, and thanks to everybody for contributing who could. And now let's look into how you can create your own interactive presentation. And for this, so now where to start? Okay, let's start with the file. So what you can do is when you want to create one, you click here on the plus sign, create, and you have the option to create a lesson in Google Slides, so you can use Google Slide presentations, and you can also create the lesson here on the Nearpod website. You have actually the same option here. Here it's lesson in Google Slides or lesson in Nearpod. We just work with Nearpod for now, so I'm clicking here on lesson in Nearpod. And now what you do is the first thing you do is you're uploading your presentation, because the nice thing about Nearpod is you can use your existing presentation and upload it. For example, here I have my PowerPoint presentation about the European Union and Europe, and here I just have my slides with the actual text content, but not the interactive part. What I can do now is, so I'm going back to the Nearpod page, I can click here on Upload Files, and I can now choose my presentation. So here's a Europe presentation, and I just drag it over here to copy it in there. What I can also do is I can upload it. I can also upload it from Google Drive or from Dropbox or from OneDrive. So wherever your presentation is, you're able to add it here, and then you add it in, and now what it does, it will create a Nearpod presentation. Now, do you see this here? It says file processing, and this actually can take a while, especially if it's a big file. So don't try to do that in a hurry, because it can take it can take 10 minutes depending on your size and how your internet connection is. Now, one important thing is the maximum file size that your presentation can have is 10 megabytes. 10 megabytes. So if your presentation is bigger, you first need to do something about the size before you can use it with Nearpod. Often it's the pictures, the images that are very big in size, and there it's best to reduce the resolution of the images. You have to remember this will be shown on a screen, it won't be projected on a wall, so you can use a much lower resolution for your pictures than you would use for one that's screened on a projector. So that's a good way to reduce the size. Okay, so this is still processing, so we're going out of here and we're looking at a presentation that I already prepared previously. This one here, the one we were actually just using. And here you see you have two options. You have the live lesson, as we just did now, and the other one is the student paced, where the students can essentially go through the presentation by themselves whenever they want. The thing is, the student paced option is usually only for those that use the pay version, but at the moment seems to be you can actually use it because of the COVID-19 crisis, so you can use it for free. So I should mention, okay, I'm just going to close this. So I should mention that while Nearpod is as such for free, you can use a live lesson for free. It is it's built up on a freemium approach. That means some features are for free, while others you have to pay for them. At the moment, lots more of them are for free, because Nearpod is supporting teachers who have to teach remotely because of the COVID-19 crisis. So this is actually a great time to try out these programs, because a lot of other programs are giving you more for free than they would usually do. And so it's a great time to try them all out and see how they work, and see if you actually like the features. And but the thing is, most of what you do and what I showed you is for free, or used to be for free even beforehand. Okay, so now I'm going here into edit mode, and I'm just saying okay, and we're leaving the active code. And so here now you see the presentation. So what happens is my PowerPoint presentation got uploaded, and so all these slides are appearing here. And on top of this, I have these interactive slides. So what you do is you first upload your presentation, and then afterwards you're adding the interactive slides. And the way to do it is to click here on Add Slide, and then you get three possibilities. You can add content. So if you click on here, you can create a slide or add some additional resources like a BBC video, some 3D simulations, or a video or audio files, or Sway or PDF files. So you have lots of options to add additional content here. However, I think it's easiest to just take your presentation that's already existing and upload it, and don't really work too much with adding content here or trying even to create slides online. It's much easier to do that in the format that you're used to, so PowerPoint or Google Lesson or whatever you use, and then to upload it here. Either in PowerPoint format, you can upload it as a PDF file. For those that use Apple products, you can convert your presentations to PDF files, or you can upload PNG files. Okay, so let's go back. And this was adding content. And the other option, what you can do is you can add web content. And this is important. Let me just get out of here again, because if you upload, let me just show you that, how it looks like in the preview. If you upload a slide with a link in it, let me just click through here. If you upload a slide with a link in it, the link to the website will not work. This is one of the drawbacks of Nearpod in your interactive presentation. If you have a link in your presentation, it will not be active in the Nearpod presentation mode. So in order to actually add a link to a website, if you want to, you need to click on Add Slide and then say Add Web Content. And if you do that, then you can type in here a link to the website, let's say this YouTube video, and then press Save. Again, I think this is something that's not for free outside the current times, so just be aware of this. But often I think it's not necessary, because you can always stay in touch with your students in another way and just ask them to go to this link, share it via the program you use, or even on Skype, the link, and then you interrupt your live Nearpod presentation, let them watch this, and afterwards you resume the live presentation. So this is also possible. But here, what you do is, if you want to have it inside your Nearpod presentation, you just go and add the code here, press Save, and then this will be added to your presentation. And yeah, now we have it here So here you have a website added, and if I go on preview mode, then it should display again. So yeah, here I have to wait a little bit. There's a question about how much would it normally cost. Well, that depends on what level you want to do, but we can have a look at the price plan at the moment. Okay, I see here that doesn't actually want to display. Takes a bit too long, so we close it. But anyways, this is how it works. Okay, now I've talked about everything except for adding interactive content. So we're going to do that now. And so in order to add interactive content, you go to Add Slide and you click on Add Activity. And so here you have lots of different options. Again, some are for free, others are usually behind the paywall. Oh, great. And now I have a problem here. Let's add this again. Okay. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, you have lots of different options. Many of them are for free, also outside the current times. At the moment, all of them are for free, as far as I know. So what you can do, you can add open-ended questions. You can add matching pairs. So if I click here on matching pairs, for example, then here I can add a pair, for example, European countries and cities. So let's say we choose Ireland and Dublin. This is one pair. And then I add another pair, for example, Germany and Berlin. Okay, so now I have a matching pair activity here. And let's look at all these things later on. And I can add more activities. So I can also add a quiz, which we did. I can add a Flipgrid. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a separate program, so I'm not going into detail here. It's where students can submit short videos. You might want to check this out yourself. But let's see what else we can do. Time to Climb is also a quiz, but it's more fun made. And you have several quiz questions, and it makes it into a race. So it's a bit like Nearpod's answer to Kahoot, and it's integrated in the Nearpod interactive slides. Okay, then we have a couple more. You can also get people to draw something. So if I click on the draw function, then I can give a task. And here, as this will be task, I can also add a timer, so to give students only a limited amount of time to do this activity, depending on what you want to do. If you want to move on, this can be helpful so that they don't spend too much time on this. Okay, so I press save. And now we have a draw it exercise as well. Let's explore it a bit more. Add activity. And here you have, we used the collaborator already. You've seen that. You can ask a poll, or you can do fill in the blanks or memory test. So you have lots of different interactive activities that you can use. And once you're done, what happens is they will always come up at the end of your presentation. But of course, you might want to have them at the start. So what you do is you click on it and you drag it to the position where you want to use it. So I might drag the matching pairs up there and the draw it I might put up here. And now let's see if we can go back into preview mode, if that actually works now. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So here we have our first slide, and I click on the next one. Here we have again the collaborative board from the student's point of view. Another text slide. Here we have our quiz as before. Another text slide, and here now, here this is where you can draw. So you have your tools, and you can choose the color as well and how big you want to do it. Oh, this is gray. I don't want gray, I want blue. This is blue, well, a little bit of a blue. Let's see. And I can make it bigger here as well. Let's start with the stars. So I can make the stars here. And so on and so forth. And then I can also lock it if I want, or I can just add an image. There's also a possibility, but I don't want to draw that much. Okay, but let's continue. So this is a draw it function. Another text slide, and here now. So this is now the link to a YouTube video, and if I play that, then you will hear "Ode of Joy," the anthem of Europe. Let's do this now. So yeah, we have the. Okay, this works. Okay, let's not get carried away with this and continue. So you see here you can add YouTube videos as well into your presentation. And then let's see, do we have one more? Oh yeah, so here we have our matching pairs. So if I match Ireland with Berlin, that's not correct. It's Ireland and Dublin. This is correct. And then I do the other one, Berlin, Germany, and now I'm done. Okay. And then you have to, and then you're done with this one. Okay. All right, so this is how Nearpod works. Oh yeah, one important thing is once you're done with adding all these things, you click on Save and Exit. And now I'm back here. But the thing is, and only then, once I've pressed Save and Exit, I can actually use it. Here I have some changes that I haven't saved. So before I can start with the live lesson or the student paste, I would have to save here those details before I can actually do it. So if I click here on Save Changes, what will happen is, let's see, does it actually display? Yeah. So here you have to give it a name, and you have to add it to say which level it is as well, and which subject in order to save it. Now this is because as far as I can see, your lesson will also be shared or might be shared publicly. You certainly have the option to share it, and you can also explore other lessons. So for example, if I go here to the Nearpod lesson library, here you actually see lots of different courses that you can actually download and use ready-made. And here you have some filters that you can use. Some of them you have to pay for, others are free. And you have different topics, English, social studies, science, different grades as well. So if you don't have the time to grade things yourself, you can actually get some. Let's see if we go click on this one as an example. Here, let's see if I click on this one. Does it show me the price? Okay, these are for free. Okay, great. These are all free. But otherwise, you would see the price here, and this is, and will be a once-off payment for buying a presentation. Now, let's go back. And so someone was asking me about how much does it cost. If you click on here on this rocket, this is where you have your options. Oh, let's see. So, and there are some additional options. Okay, this is just a quick launch. I thought there was an upgrade function, but I guess then we have to click on here on the card. Yeah, well, this is actually just my logout. Oh yeah, here's where I can then pay for the presentations that I buy. But if I want to upgrade, here I can go to upgrade account, and yeah, so here we see the different options. I currently use the silver one, which is for free, and if I click on here, you actually see all the things that you can do. For example, class size up to 40 students, lesson size, how much space you have, and all more details. And then you have different options like $120 per year, or even $349. Now that's a bit expensive for most teachers. Something that might be more useful is to get to see if your school can actually get a license. But you have to see. I find that with a free license, you already get very far. So I would start with that and see how far you get really. And the other ones, well, I don't know, $120. Well, I think it would be worth it if you use the program a lot. You might want to consider it. But as I will also talk about in my online course, there are lots of other options as well, other programs that do something similar. So before you go for pay for a license, it would be good to shop around and look at other programs as well. Okay, let's go back here. Leaving the site, I don't want to pay for anything. And yeah, one more thing, if you scroll down here, you also see the reports. So here you can actually see the reports from your previous interactive slides that you did, how many slides you had, and I can look at then the latest sessions and see the details there of who answered what, and so I can use that then later on. I can download this as well. So that's also nice. You get the interaction from the students, and you also have it recorded, so you can use it for evaluation later on as well. So that's pretty much it about Nearpod. So again, when you upload a presentation and make it interactive, make sure that the size of your presentation is not bigger than 10 megabytes. Also think about your students' bandwidth. It's always better to have a lower size, less loading to do as well on your computer. And well, another thing I should mention is that students, if they want to use their smartphone or tablet to view the presentation, it's best for them to download the app, because it gives for a much better view. You can also view it on an internet browser on your smartphone, but I noticed that some things look very, very tiny on this, so there it's better actually to have the app if you're the student who wants to use it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now let's see, just to hear the bullet points again. So it's great to get everybody to contribute. And the nice thing is you see it immediately, you see who has answered, and you see who has technical issues. So it's a great tool for remote teaching. And so yeah, maximum size 10 megabytes. And yeah, if you don't try to do the creation on the smartphone, I don't think that works properly. And again, if you have any links within your presentation, that won't work. Okay, oh, actually, one thing I nearly forgot. I wanted to say, let's go back here and go to Edit. Once you have uploaded your PowerPoint presentation, you cannot really edit the content. So this might be one disadvantage. Please always check before you upload your presentation, because you cannot change the content of a single page, or the text at least. But what you can do is, if you click on one, and I did a double click in order to enter a specific slide, so I cannot change the text here, but what I can do is I can, for example, add an audio file. So I can click here on audio, and I can also either upload one, or I can use the audio recorder. And now I can record something like, Europe is a continent located entirely in the northern hemisphere and mostly in the eastern hemisphere. Okay, and then I say save. And now this audio file will be connected to the slide. So this is great in case your students are not able to follow you on a separate, let's say if they use their smartphone, and they have their and they're in the live presentation, Nearpod presentation, they might not be able to have you on Skype at the same time listening to your voice. So here you could just add it as an audio file, and they can play it themselves. And so this is also great for the student-paced mode, where they just look through it. You just have your slide, you add your audio recording, and then they can look at it themselves without having the need of a second channel where they're talking to you. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention as well. So let's go and exit this. And again, and so here you see now, you see the audio recording view at the bottom, so you see already where you have this edit. And again, in order to enter this, you need to, if you click once on it, you just have it highlighted, but you need to do a double click in order to enter the editing mode where you can add things. But again, you can only add things, you cannot edit the text or so within the Nearpod website. So you will need to make sure that your PowerPoint presentation is the way you want it to be, that there are no spelling errors or anything. Okay, so that's it from my side about Nearpod. And so again, I have a whole course about all these different programs. And if you're interested in this, have a look at the website online.teachacademy.eu, and there you will find this course under live classes, and you will also see lots of other courses and other options. So check it out, and also there will be more Europass talks, usually on Wednesdays, but just have a look on the website and you will see when the next one will be coming up. Okay, so that's it from my side for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this program is useful for you. So, well, all the best and goodbye.